I'm Lisa Leiter. Accretive Health is one of Chicago's fastest growing companies. Revenue jumped to more than $800 million since its founding in 2003. But the company's stock plunged last year after Minnesota's Attorney General accused Accretive Health of strong-arming patients for payment. The company settled a lawsuit by the state and agreed not to do business there for 2 years. I sat down with Accretive CEO Mary Tolan to talk about the Minnesota case and the company's future, which includes news about exiting the business of collecting past due debts from patients. Mary, there was criticism following the allegations out of Minnesota that your comments immediately following were blasting the Minnesota Attorney General rather than providing a detailed explanation to investors about why the allegations were false. Do you regret that?
I really think that what we focused on was understanding the allegations, and now we've put them behind us. We did have a data breach with a laptop that was stolen. We've now invested in really getting to high trust certification, which is the highest level of health information privacy that you could have as a company. And we've invested in this blue ribbon panel and really gotten people from all kinds of aspects of healthcare, both Republicans and Democrats, state level and federal level people, collaborating on what really are the gold standards for patient interactions around the financial side of care, so that we can create a best practice, and we're going to actually be sharing it open source with the industry so that everybody can have that as their basis.
You talked off camera about steps and evaluations you did within your own company immediately following the Minnesota allegations, just to be sure that you weren't doing anything wrong and that you could go back to all of your clients and assure them as well. What happened as a result of those investigations?
Well, the most important thing is that we actually do all of our processes to conform with our clients' policies. So we wanted to make sure that we were absolutely in compliance with all of our clients. And clients don't necessarily have all the same policies. They operate with different payers and different geographies, different types of consumers. So we needed to make sure that each and every one of our client situations were absolutely consistent with the client's policies. And we found that we were, and our clients found that, and that was a good thing.
The stock price has recovered somewhat immediately following its plunge from the Minnesota allegations, but it hasn't certainly gotten anywhere close to its peak. Do you feel that investors are not convinced that these allegations are behind you?
Actually, no. I think that the investors are looking for the very high growth rates that we've had historically to come through. And so now that we have that distraction behind us and we've gotten a major renewal with our largest customer and we're adding new clients, they're really just looking for some consistency with that kind of growth rate. And you really need to be able to have that growth rate to be able to earn the very high kind of multiples that we've had historically.
And so what are you going to be doing to convincing investors that you are on the path to those kind of growth rates that you had once before?
It's just really good execution of the business and staying, very focused and building new customer relationships and getting the new relationships launched and deployed and putting the points on the board. I mean, investors are, we find we've got really good investors, and they're good long holders. And they're looking to see that those things are actually just coming through to fruition.
You mentioned off camera that you are soon going to be getting out of the individual debt collection business. What led you to that decision?
It was always a very small part of what we do. In the revenue cycle business, we work on getting all the big payers, which have lots of complexity to actually pay to the hospitals and to the physicians. A very small part of the receivable is debt collection. And we analyzed it and we took a look at it and we determined it wouldn't be a significant part of our business model if we were to actually have it done by a third party. And we thought, you know what, if we do that, it'll take away the ability for anybody to erroneously in any way think that we are in debt collection or to call us a debt collector.
The largest part of your business being collecting payments from insurers and government programs and helping with this revenue management for hospitals. Where do you see the biggest growth opportunity for your company in 2013?
Well, we have two major growth platforms. One is actually in getting new relationships in the revenue cycle management business, and we have a really significant pipeline of major organizations around the country who are involved in doing assessments and due diligence and so forth. So growing more of those relationships. And then we are also growing our quality business, which is where we're partnering with providers to bring critical infrastructure for accountable care, which is at the heart of the Affordable Care Act.
Has healthcare reform really created opportunities that when you founded in 2003 you never even anticipated?
I think this movement away from fee for service to value being the basis for how revenues flow actually said that our original focus on revenue would have to really deal with much more complexity. And it's not just the complexity of the new revenue, it's how do you earn value-based arrangements. So really helping providers now just with the administrative side of healthcare, but with the core on the clinical delivery and really bringing best practice and reducing practice variation became a whole new opportunity that from the beginning we didn't anticipate.
Mary Tolan, thank you so much for joining us.
Thank you.